So these are some of the reasons that they look at. And I put these people out here because I'm imagining patent examiners. So patent examiners, I almost wanted to put like an evil villain icon on here, because a patent examiner, or maybe like a goalie for soccer, because a patent examiner, like the balls coming at the goalie would be like the patent applications, and the patent examiner, their job is to kick the balls away and to not give them patents unless they're worthy, okay? These are some of the criteria, so let's look at these. And I've got to use my laser pointer because they're so fun. So here's a great word, statutory. So what that means is that it's whether or not the invention involves subject matter that can be patented. So that's processes, machines, manufactured articles, and compositions of matter. So it's basically stuff, things that you can touch, or a process to make things that you can touch. So, for example, favorite song? Does anybody have a favorite song right now? Popular song? That's a good one.
We don't talk about Bruno.
No. We don't talk about Bruno. No?
But they all sing it.
It's got to be somebody's favorite. Yes.
Everybody talks.
Everybody talks. There you go. There's a non-Encanto song. Okay, good.
That's not Encanto.
Good songs. Songs, we don't patent songs. We do what's called a copyright. So that's another discussion for a different day. But that's something that's an idea, right? Or that's not something that's physical. So patents, we do physical things typically. Novelty. Here's, okay, who shut me down on my waffle cone? This is what you were talking about. It has to be new and not known to the public before you invented it. And then they do give you a little bit of leeway if you like start manufacturing it before you patent it. You can still patent it if it's within a year. So you can't tell anybody about it, or like as soon as you tell somebody about your idea and it goes out into the public, then the timer starts. And if you wait more than a year, you can't file a patent. So if you have a super amazing idea that you think can be patented, guess what? Don't tell anybody. I know, that's kind of weird, right? Well, tell your parents or tell your inventing buddies, but don't tell the public. Because if you tell the public and it goes out in a newspaper, then 1 year later, you're done. So you do have some time. So that's part of keeping it secret. And then I want to talk about this idea of prior art. Maybe we'll talk about it over here though. Usefulness, it also has to be useful, which means it does what it claims. So for example, you probably heard of Eli Whitney patenting the cotton gin. I think we usually talk about that in school.
Yeah.
Maybe you heard about that one.
Yeah.
So if somebody files a patent and says, this is a device, a machine, that will take cotton that has a bunch of plant matter in it, and it will comb it out so that then it's clean at the other end. If their machine doesn't do that, if it's got lots of gears and lots of cool things on it, like that one in Beauty and the Beast, you remember Maurice? That was a good one. If it's a really crazy, awesome looking machine, but it doesn't do what you say it's supposed to do, you're not gonna get a patent. It's not gonna work. And then the last one, non-obviousness. This one's kind of hard because the idea is that no one else could have put 2 and 2 together, meaning no one else could have taken a patent for waffles and a patent for ice cream and said, well, obviously you can just put those together and make waffle cones for ice cream. So it has to be non-obvious, okay? This is kind of hard because the patent examiners will often use what they call prior art. It's a fancy way of saying, hey, guess what? Over here in our patent archive, we have tens of millions of patents already. So people have patented a lot of things, right, over the years. So if you patent something new, and then the patent examiner, who's trying to kick your ball away from the goal, right? The patent examiner says, oh, well, Brad invented waffle cones. All right, so guess what he goes and looks for? He looks for patents on waffle cones. He looks for patents on waffles. He looks for patents on cones. He looks for patents on ice cream. And then he pulls all of those up and he would say, Brad, look, there are like 20 patents on cones and waffles and ice cream and all this stuff. You don't get a patent because it was already patented, or you don't get a patent because anybody could have taken cone plus waffle and said waffle cone. So those are the kind of things they look at. All right, next slide. Those mean patent examiners. Okay, so this is, I did want to talk more about this. This is what you can do. So when you wanna, if you have a cool idea, and you guys are, I think a lot of you are doing the toy idea, is that right? Raise your hands if you're doing that. Okay, oh, everybody, nice. So you're trying to come up with a new thing, right? So this is, my first advice is these first couple of lines. This is where you spend a lot of your time. My team, so I'm doing kind of the business side, but I also work with a lot of technical people who work in the lab. They make stuff, they make prototypes. Just yesterday I was talking to somebody about a new idea, and guess what? I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Right? Right? I gotta follow the rule, right? So it's very fun though. So it's a cool idea for us at least. I think it could make us some money and be a good idea. So here's what you do. You make a prototype and you test it, and then guess what? Most of the time you're gonna do item number 2, which is what?
Fail.
Fail. Is that okay? Is it okay to fail? Yes.
Most of the time.
Yes. That's something I want you guys to walk away remembering. You should fail a lot. If you're inventing really cool new stuff that nobody's done before, you should fail a lot. And then, guess what? You learn from it. You say, I failed already this way, now I know how to make my prototype better because I won't fail the same way next time. You remember Thomas Edison? Did you hear about him? And the light bulb thing, right? Lots and lots of failing, and then he figured it out. So he knew there was something cool that he could do. He had this great idea, he just didn't quite know how to do it right yet. So keep doing that. Then I'm saying number 3 is what comes. After a lot of failing, a lot of trying, you can succeed. And then you write a description of your idea, and write your idea down as many different ways as you can make it work. Also, that next one is important. In a patent application, you have to write how your idea works, and then you have to write the ways that somebody could do it that would not work. It's helpful because it shows why your idea is worthy of being patented. So for example, if I have a formula that I wanted to patent, and we have patented one of our formulas that we made, you have to show why that formula works and why all the other 20 formulas that you tried didn't work. So that means, hey, this patent is worthy of being patented, or this formula is worthy of being patented. I like this other one, some reasons why other ways won't work or why yours is better. So in one of our patent applications for the padded mailer, we said things like, lots of padded mailers exist, like this, but we said they need to be improved because there's plastic and paper together, which means you can't recycle it. So that was one of the things we wrote in our introduction and said, that's why you need my invention. Then the last few, those are harder. Find a lawyer, pay some money, and then wait for a while. So yes, it might take a few years. So for example, I've got 2, maybe 3 patent applications right now that have been at the patent office for like 2-3 years, and they're still working on them and arguing about them. And those patent examiners keep kicking the ball away on a few things and saying, well, we don't think this one's patentable. So you will get some rejections even from the patent office. But you can probably file a patent yourself. It's gonna be a whole lot easier if you find a lawyer. So if you have a really amazing idea, go find a lawyer. Yes, that's the first challenge. And then wait a little while. But I put money over here not only because it costs money, but because hopefully you could actually make some money, right? If you have a great idea and then sell it to the world, or give it to the world for free, that's fine. But usually people would like to try to commercialize it. All right, next slide.